is a CBS News special report.
No foreplay.
No foreplay. We bike.
We back.
We back. So I get right to it. So, this wasn't supposed to be this kind of episode. We started off kind of like, ready to have an episode. We was going to talk about Cardi B. We was going to talk about, Diddy. We was going to talk about all kinds of stuff. Jussie Smollett, second chance episode, all of that, man. But
Lupita. They made her apologize for playing a disabled character.
Right.
With a disability.
Yeah, all kind of stuff, man. But unfortunately, real life happens. Real life happens, man. It always happens in a weird way. So we looked up, and by the time we was getting ready to record, we see that Nipsey Hussle he's been killed. He's been murdered in front of the Marathon store in L.A. Crazy news.
Unbelievable, man. Just a real tragedy, man. Just in front of us, man. Like, I'm really at a loss for words because, like Dion mentioned, man, that happening to him, how it happened and where it happened, is the equivalent of someone being shot and killed on 35th and King Drive. In broad daylight, at his store, what was it, Dion? Had to be like 4:30 or something.
Yeah,
right. Right, exactly. So they 3 hours ahead of us. So 3 hours ahead of me.
Two ahead of us.
Right, 2 ahead of y'all. Mm-hmm. So yeah, right in the middle of the day. And it's crazy, man. I think just because it's just crazy how that all happened, Sunday afternoon, and it's just boom right there in your face. Life happens that fast. Super bizarre, man.
Beyond that is like, man, I really don't know, bro. It's like I said, I'm at a loss for words, and even people who didn't know Nipsey or never even heard his music, man, it's still just another black man in a position of privilege, or however you want to say it, just being taken out, man. This is happening way too much at an alarming rate, man. I told people, I lost a former student this past week, and I felt bad that I was getting immune to it, man. And I just have to keep telling myself, this is not normal. This is not life, man. This is not how life is supposed to go. And I'm still just like out here wrong, man. Just wow. Any words, Ant?
Man, it's crazy because, like, to get killed in your own neighborhood that you've been trying to help build up, like, on property that he just brought the whole strip mall, correct, Dion? Not too long ago.
Right. They just bought the whole strip mall. To give you they just bought the whole strip mall. Go ahead, Ant.
Yeah, no. You interject, but no, they just brought the whole strip mall. They was about to put a new building there. From what I read, part of it was residential, other part was going to be businesses and whatnot. And it's crazy that so many people who try to do good in the community, like it's always like you always get shot on the home front where you try to help, because there's always going to be somebody who, doesn't like you doing good just because it's you doing it and not them. Exactly. And they never even attempted to do good. Like, of course, they haven't apprehended the killer at this time of recording. Yeah. But man, since the beginning of time, people have always been killed by people that they probably knew or was around. And the fact that he tweeted right before he got shot, his what was the tweet?
Something about having enemies.
Having enemies make
Strong
you
enemies,
strong.
right?
That's like, sometimes like when you know, you know.
Mm-hmm. And me and Ant was just talking about like that's one of the negatives about being a public figure, man. It's just like people know where you are at all times. You know what I mean? If they ever build up enough courage to carry out a heinous act like this, I mean, they know where you at. You know what I mean?
What's crazy, man? I don't know nothing about Nipsey as far as like how he went through his day, but it damn near feels similar. Like he woke up today and had the same feeling that Malcolm X had on his last day.
Yeah.
Especially like with him tweeting that out right before it happened. Like from everything I read about Malcolm X, like that whole, like his last day, he was kind of moving different that day because, sometimes you just get that feeling like something's gonna change.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, that's wild, man.
And I really don't have the time for none of these conspiracy theorists and CSI detectives on social media, man. That's another thing I'm like trying to steer away from. Man, come on, y'all, man.
I mean, I get like people, when things like this happen, people want to have the answers so quickly and so bad. But I mean, as we all have realized with following news this day and age, just let the story play out. You don't got to be first to crack breaking news or be a detective. Just let the story play out. That's all you got to do. Yeah, so man, man, it's just crazy, man.
Too crazy.
Like we literally, man, thankfully, y'all make me go to like music stuff. So I'm thankful y'all making me go to Rocky Fest last year because we got to see this man in person before. Yeah. And who knew that I was gonna have no more opportunity to see him.
Right, that would be the last performance that we ever see from.
I mean, and then even like just looking at the images and seeing the videos, man, like it just goes to show you that you get PTSD from just being in the hood and seeing all this type of stuff, and just like you get numb to it, but at the same time, it shakes you to your core each time it happens. So it's wild. Like just when I first, because like literally, Fresh is packing up over here with his family, and like I'm going through like Twitter and stuff, and I kind of came across like Nipsey got shot. I'm like, what? And I'm going on Twitter, I'm searching like to see the video of him like on the ground and they trying to do CPR. They turn him over on the side. I'm like, oh man, this don't look good.
I know.
Shit, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, like, it's a lot for me to unpack. I think because anybody who knows me, follows my travels, and listen to the podcast, they know my relationship with LA. And if you know my relationship with LA, you know that the first place I would go off the airplane is where the Marathon store. It's super close to LAX. And I always tell people I've been going to the Marathon store since you walked in there, and it was literally like a Chinese-owned strip mall. You go in there, and at the beginnings of the Marathon store in 2012, you would go in there, and it was still the Asian man working there, and then they would sell like Nip's clothing there. And I think the thing about Nip, why I think he always just kind of struck me as, a wise kind of young dude, a wise kind of rapper. So one of the things that kind of throws me off about this now today is, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm having a hard time putting my words together. Just because, like, I feel like Nipsey meant so much to LA, to the neighborhood. And if you go back and watch his videos, like he got a video called Crenshaw and Slauson from the Crenshaw Projects, the last song. And I feel like the song is like almost like the song is like super long, like maybe 7 minutes. The video may even be longer, but it's like taking him through the neighborhood, the people from the neighborhood, from the drug addicts to the OGs, they all know him from the neighborhood. Like everybody's like, yo, he's a skinny dude from the neighborhood. He came up in LA, you gangbang. I know people probably gonna try to throw theories out there and say you gangbang, but listen, LA gangbanging is no different from Chicago gangbanging. Everybody's affiliated to something. So I think the crazy part looking at it now is just seeing, where he's been and kind of what he's doing in the neighborhood, buying back, like we say, buying back the block, things of that nature. He recently, like Ann said, he bought that strip mall. And just like seeing the growth. I'll say going there for so long, seeing the growth. Because now it's a fully morphed super store. And when I go in that store, like the same people have been working there. Like at this point, they know my face. You know what I'm saying? It's a guy working there named D. Like like, oh, you Dion from Chicago. You know what I'm saying? And, last time I was there, I had a damn mini photo shoot in there. So the crazy part is like he sells a shirt, and he's always sold the shirt for the past few years. And the shirt actually says most young kings get their head cut off. That's what the shirt says. It's a t-shirt. And to see this happen, I would love to tell you that, you're surprised, but matter of fact, I queued this up. I queued this up specifically for this reason. And just take a look at it. Take a listen to it with us. Cause this makes perfect sense. Words from Boosie Badass.
That wherever you from, you will get hated the most. Most rappers die in their own city, man. It's a fact. And you have haters who was in school with you and they mad because they was in that third grade class with you, but they don't have the same hustle as you. They hate you for no reason. They hate you for your success. If you was a local rapper and you didn't have much, they would love you. And these people, you develop hatred in your own city. If you go to Canada, you go to New York, you from Louisiana, you don't have hate. You don't have people want to hurt you because they don't know you. They don't know you, and that's why I decided to move to Atlanta. If I'm dealing with music, this is a place I need to be. Everybody ride foreign cars out here. I won't be pulled. I haven't been pulled over since I've been out here, but to take a picture and get an autograph.
And that was to me some very real shit that Boosie said. And I think too, we talk about people, whether it be haters or just people being envious of you. Like, Nipsey, for all as he is, for popular as he is, he was considered a local rapper for a very long time.
Right.
Up until even the release of Victory Lap, even his Crenshaw project, he was still local. He's had songs with Drake that's 5 years old, songs with everybody. But when you cross over and you sign to Atlantic and you're getting the videos with a $500,000 budget, everybody wants to do a feature on you. Like he has a full GQ video out with his girlfriend, full fashion spreads. I don't even know if y'all, the majority of people may not know this, but him and Hove were rocking heavy. Him, Hove, Emery,
Yeah. Didn't Hove buy 100 of his mixtapes that he was selling
when he sold
for
the $100 mixtape. Yeah.
$100 mixtape, and sold that Hove definitely copped like 100.
Right. So it's a big thing, and I think at that time that definitely brings you to that point where when it's starting to look like that, you do have a lot of people who may be envious, who may come back from the past. And granted, we don't know, none of us know what happened at this point.
Right.
But still, it's like that point, like, and I'll never forget. Even Joe Budden said something about this a long time ago, and it always stuck with me. And everybody's talked about it. Kanye. On my way home. You know what I'm saying? And Joe Budden said, people. He said like rappers like love their home, and he said like if you love something too much, guaranteed it'll kill you. Um,
Yeah.
and that's something. He's right in the neighborhood. Like I can't even tell you how many Crenshaw shirts I had. You know what I'm saying? Like when I came back out, the first show I did, I wore a shirt that said "The Marathon Continues" after the store. You know what I'm saying? So it's I'm not gonna lie, I'm super hurt, like real for real hurt. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this hit me harder than this hit me harder than Pac. It hit me harder than Big, like all those people. Because, for the granted I was a kid, but this is like a guy who I feel like was on his incline and really to me had the possibility to control rap, especially for the West Coast for years to come. See, I'm super hurt.
Yeah, like you said, he definitely was gonna have that control, man. Child. I just, it's tough, man. Like that, and we in this era where the same thing we use to laugh also can be a thing that makes us cry. Like Ant said, man, just we stumbled across the video, man, and just had to see it like that. So shit, we knew it wasn't good from the beginning, man.
Right.
We just knew it wasn't good from the beginning, and I couldn't imagine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, man? It's definitely bad. We lost a good one, man. We lost a good one.
We did. Matter of fact, this is something interesting. I'm talking about buying that. I just wanna play this one little clip first. He's in that parking lot, getting taken to jail, getting raided in that parking lot to actually owning that building. I remember the owner, the master burger, used to tell us he basically wouldn't allow the members of the community to hang out at all. He removed the seats so people had to order their shit and go. I remember that being young, like feeling like, how dare you? And now he's our tenant. He pay us rent every month. Like when you hear something like that, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
This is a guy who, wanted to stick with the neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? And want to make things better for the people from the neighborhood. And, and it's crazy, we at this point, we got to look up and see that he got killed in that neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? He got killed in the neighborhood that he wanted to make stuff better for other people. Like, that's super crazy.
And that's something, I worried about a lot, with everything I do in my community. Like, who's to say somebody isn't that person, like Boosie said, mad that they're not doing the stuff that you're doing and feeling some kind of way? When I talk to my old heads and I ask them about rivalry, I mean, the rivalries inside the gangs, they was like, man, pure point blank, just because y'all on the same team don't mean y'all always the best of friends. He like, Rodman and Jordan weren't the best of friends, but they know what they had to do to get that championship. But it's just different in the streets. He's like, man, once people get just that inkling of hate for you, man, you know what I'm saying? Anything can happen, bro. And I always, man, that's one thing I always worried about, being so active in the neighborhood. Like I said, man, I lived where I grew up at. I never left. I worked in the neighborhood, went to church in the neighborhood. You know what I mean? And I don't know. That was just always something I always worried about. Because, like, I heard that Boosie clip before. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely always worried about that kind of thing.
Man, and another thing too, man, on like even on a more spiritual level, not like a street hood level, like people just gonna be understanding that your blessing is for you and for you only, and they'll get jealous on the blessings you receive, but they couldn't withstand nowhere near the hell that you went through to even get to that point. And so, they sitting around like, why he got this, why he got that, and like it's just been gifted to you, like on a silver platter. And it's like, dude, I had to climb through filth and shit to get to this point. You know what I'm saying? And you can tell, like, when motherfuckers don't have the same work ethic as you, or they feel like they will be a better person to receive the blessing that you got than you. It's like, no, it's not. Like, your blessing is for you, my blessing is for me. And instead of everybody uplifting each other and helping us get to our full potential, you'll have people who, man, just be like totally be like against you because they think what you got should be theirs and not yours. It's crazy. It's wild, man. I can't believe it because he was actually like one of the cats that was living it how he was talking it. Like economic empowerment for his own. Like, he was doing it for real, and that's what I think made his raps and his lyrics hit even more. Not on some party shit, but like he talking economic advancement for our own. But you see him doing this shit, so you can bump this shit like this. Nip, he real about this.
Right. And what's super crazy, like looking like from a random like IT perspective, like Nipsey done went to he done went overseas and met with companies about Bitcoin and he invested in them and it's just so much that he was doing with his time that other niggas ain't doing. You know what I'm saying? Like other niggas, yeah, they do concerts. Like, you know what I'm saying? But he was running around doing stuff. And, even y'all can attest last year at Broccoli, like,
And it's crazy. His set wasn't even universally loved by like
right.
that. But the people who fucked with him, though, we know, we was like, man, they out here rapping every word of his.
You know me, I was at Broccoli with the Crenshaw shirt, and I was identifying every nigga with a Crenshaw shirt, and we shared a look. Like, what I'm saying, we know what we here for.
Yeah.
So it's I think too, one, he has so many songs out, records out. That one thing I'm going to tell you that I predict is going to happen is that Nipsey Hussle, and you hate to see it, but it's very real. Nipsey Hussle in death is going to become so big. He's going to become so big. And number one, I'll say, and it's funny because, like, if you come to my house, and I don't know if you remember from the Super Bowl, do you remember my Wi-Fi name?
What was the wife? It had something to do with
My
Nipsey, though,
Wi-Fi
right?
name is Victory Lap. Like,
Yep.
like,
Yeah. But I remember we looked up, we was like, this got to be
right.
Dion
It's
Wi-Fi.
got to be Dion Wi-Fi. Like, so, the one thing I will tell you about the way the West Coast operates and the way things happen. Everybody already started their pouring of support. And granted, of course, it's not ideal. But the thing is, all of these people that you see who's supporting him right now, you seen LeBron tweeting out immediately. People like that, LeBron was already embracing him. You know what I'm saying? All these people in the West was already embracing him. So you're going to look up and all these people who already, fuck with Nipsey, now everybody who was kind of off the boat or on the fence are going to be like, damn, why these people fuck with Nipsey? And the thing about Nipsey got a lot of raps with that economic empowerment shit. He got a lot of raps about police brutality. Nipsey Hussle, I remember what Real Talk had asked one of my verses of the year, and Nipsey Hussle had a verse about police brutality on a song with him and Young Thug, and it was called Thug Life. It was on Slauson Boy 2. So it's going to be literally people are going to be, on it. Like, they're going to be kind of listening about, oh shit, this nigga was really cold. And, he's like, the legend is going to grow. So that's one positive I can take from it. And I feel like the West Coast is going to rally around him. All the Dom Kennedys of the world, the Kendricks of the world, everybody from Top Dog, the Snoops, because he had positive relationships with everybody on the West Coast, that's in the music game. So that's going to be a joy to watch. Granted, it'll be bittersweet as fuck, but, that's one thing that I do take away from this.
Yeah, just those kids, man. I think about the kids.
And Lauren London, because I mean, not to be on no sappy shit, but you just only so many times you think you done found the one in this lifetime, and like them two motherfuckers like really like they vibe together. Like it was like a genuine vibe between them.
Yeah.
So I know she got to be sick, man. Like, damn.
Yeah. So
Senseless violence, man. Senseless violence. And my thing is, do we ever reach the point where we're past that? Do we ever reach the point where, man, Joe, I'm good now. I'm out the streets. I'm providing for my family. I'm giving back to the community. You should be untouchable. You should be looked at as a pillar, someone we should protect. You know what I mean? I, I look at it like protect Nipsey at all costs. You know what I mean? That's one of those guys who you see in the neighborhood and you just make sure they straight every time you see them. Man, you don't need nothing, do you, boss? You could everything good. You need your windows washed or something. You know what I mean?
But you know what? You know what? He was that guy. There was a lot of guys who probably felt that way, but all it takes is one.
Yeah.
All it takes is one. Cause I'm sure, like when I go back to my old neighborhood, I'm not saying I'm dipsing anybody, but like like all the old heads they used to look out for. There was always a couple of niggas who, I never forget. I was in front of my grandma's house and niggas pulled up because my boy Grooms had his hat to the wrong way. They're like, you need to fix your hat. And you motherfucker, you just letting niggas over here like this. Like, motherfucker, like, we know your ass. You can get it too. And it's like, nigga, if you know, why you even talking to me like this?
Right.
Because, look, I was a college guy that, everybody looked out like, oh, he ain't on shit. Let him be in his books. There's always somebody who, man, I don't like that nigga over there. Nigga on belly with the glasses. I don't like that shit.
True indeed.
yeah, that's the thing. And I think, when we have these kind of, just kind of things that we go through about, the neighborhoods that we come from. And I'm just curious to see what this is going to look like. I'll say that, like, the investigation, the cooperation, what I'm saying, who they catch. I'm so interested to see what happens. Just because I feel like it's so many layers to this shit. And, and it's like, man, I'm not gonna lie. I want swift justice. I want justice so fast. Um, for of course selfish reasons, and then also for the reasons of
You
the streets.
been down this road before.
Wait, say it again.
I say you want swift justice because you've been down this road before, and the longer it takes, the more chances of he becomes another cold case where we have another unsolved murder on our hands, and we could just sit back and tie up our own ends and make up stories about how or why this young man was killed, man. And I don't think that's fair. Like, man, like to think about, they still trying to solve Biggie and Tupac murder over 50 years later. But I'm gonna be real with you, Dion. The one thing I'm super concerned about that people didn't talk about when Tupac was killed. There was a war in Los Angeles.
Exactly.
Like heads rolled. You know what I mean? I don't want this to be that same kind of situation, man. I don't want them. I know no one in LA, but I would hate for it to be a war over a rapper being killed, man. Like you said, I just hope the justice is swift.
Right. No, I'm with you because that's why I was going with it because like they said when Tupac got killed, it was a bloodbath. It was so many shootings, so many people killed after that the police literally just had to go through the neighborhood and just lock people up just to get them off the streets, and they were literally protecting people from themselves. So they wouldn't be killed because I think the final count was like it was about 10 people killed after that they could kind of tie into that. And I know that's not something that was talked about at the time because everybody was focused on Pac, but that's something that's literal. And anybody who has any inkling of how the streets work and have been in the streets know that the way this shit work right now, that Nipsey people whoever close to him, because he got brothers close to him. He got a lot of guys who close to him, like real close. Not like that fake close, but like die for you close. And, Nipsey wasn't the only one shot. Two other guys were shot. So now, and Nipsey also got a lot of OGs. And I ain't talking about the rap OGs either. Like, so now it's like, for somebody to pull that, now it's like, okay, now talks are going to be had. Now people are going to be looking to see what happened. It's going to be calls being made. And then, that's why I say I hope justice is swift, because the other kind of justice involves more violence, more pain, more hurt, more killings. And, when people are emotional like this and emotions run high, they don't care who they hit. You know what I'm saying? And if you hit a man in his hood, with a kid close by, you know what I'm saying? And now it's like, okay, now it ain't no rules to this. Now it's a Sunday. They trying to knock your dreads off. They trying to knock your mama dreads off. Whatever they gonna do to hurt you, they gonna do it. So it's one of those things, man. I'm like, man, I hope LAPD got everybody video camera, and they say he fled on foot, but I'm sure it was a car close by if that was the case. Like, I'm sure I need them to have pictures and a license plate out right now, like, because the way LA roll, like, you won't make it to the morning without a shooting happening after this. That's just the reality of South Central. That's the reality of it. So yeah, man. Anything else you fellas want to add, man?
Man, I really ain't got it in me.
No, like I don't know. I wanted to talk about other stuff, but I don't know if we even could.
Yeah, like I can tell you, I can't. Hopefully, we come back soon this week. Let's make a thing to go through it sometime this week. Hopefully Anna see us by the time we record next time. And yeah, man. So essentially, I don't know, because it's weird because I don't even know how to end the podcast, because I've never been like a rest in peace kind of person. But man, I'm devastated. I'm hurt. Nipsey, hopefully we feel your presence, I should say, through your music. Hopefully your spirit lives on in the people. And
Rest in power, Nip. Rest in peace is fine, but rest in power.
Rest in power.
All right.
No foreplay.
We out. Love all y'all. Hug your loved ones.
Man,
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.